Okay, this is Jana Loviagina.
Thank you.
And she's going to talk about Open edX support, top 10 top 10 issues which make users cry.
Yeah.
Take it away.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm from Ukraine. Sorry for my accent, but now I live in Spain. And this year I celebrate 20 years in the IT sphere. I took different positions, starting from technical writer, content manager, then it was support engineer, project manager, account manager, and client care. Now I work at Recon Gang as a head of support. Open edX has more than 55 million users worldwide. Getting an LMS does not only include the platform installation. It should also be extended with maintenance and support. Without timely support, users can become frustrated and leave the platform. And this can lead to a surge in users' complaints and influence business. The worst thing for business reputation is poor customer service. So in Recon Gang, we provide support to 80% of the platforms we deploy and aim to provide to 100. And this is not only server monitoring, what is must-have, but also dealing with users' pains by providing them with technical and UX consultancy. But above all this, there is a very important mission which support team has: collecting clients' complaints, which we as a community could use to improve the platform. We asked ChatGPT about the most popular complaints in 2022, and here is the result. Slowness of the platform, poor user experience due to lack of intuitive navigation, difficulty in accessing the course materials, insufficient support and guidance, limited mobile compatibility, limited access to external resources and learning material, and confusing and overly complex course structure and content. Though Open edX platform has been essentially improved since the earlier releases, but about 50% of users' complaints still relate to the lack of information. Users do not understand why this or that happens, why this or that does not work. We believe that it is important to wear the user's shoes while interacting with the platform, because user experience has a direct influence on how the potential customers perceive the platform, recommend it to their friends, and finally choose the right LMS for a lifetime. So let's explore the top 10 issues that make users cry and how we deal with them before these issues will be addressed in the upcoming releases. During this presentation, I would like to share our support team experience and ask questions on each case. So let's start. Case number 1, course audit mode. Imagine that you are a happy client who has just received the Open edX platform deployed on the server, and you are in a tight schedule to launch your courses. You ask your instructors to add in new courses immediately and invite your users to enroll. But you forgot that you are going to provide the certificates on these courses. And your users have enrolled, and all new courses have the audit mode by default. And all users who enrolled in this course also get this audit mode. This mode cannot provide the certificates. And at this time, usually instructors cry and come to us, the support team, and ask for help. And we provide them with, developers call these dirty hacks. We can advise them to make batch enrollment of users and batch enrollment, or go to the admin panel, find such enrollment records, and change the audit mode to honor. In this case, they will get the certificates. But the question is, how could instructors know that they should set up this honor mode before the enrollment start date of the course? We explored the studio and did not find any message, for example, something like this. Note, all new courses in the system have the audit mode by default. If you create the audit course, you must know that the students enrolled in this course won't get the certificate. To provide them with a certificate, please change the mode to honor in the admin panel before setting up the enrollment start date. Yes, we know that these instructions are written in the Open edX Read the Docs documentation, but from our experience, instructors do not read it, or it's hard for them to find necessary information. And usually, when users work in Studio and create the new course, they prefer to read instructions on the page. Also, another problem, before the Maple release, there was a message on LMS for these audit mode users on the progress page, saying that you will not get the certificate because you have the audit mode. But in new releases, there is no such message on the progress page, so users are left without information. The question is, why don't we warn the users? Why don't we warn the instructors? Or, yeah, we could add a short message here on the new course creation page, something like that, very short, that they need to go to the course modes page in admin panel and set up the honor mode. But the easier way is to set up the honor mode by default into all courses. In this case, if you don't want to provide a certificate, just don't activate it. Case number 2, grading and progress. Instructors can break grading on a live course with active users very easily, and actually they do it quite often. For example, imagine that you have a course with 2 assignment types, test and exam. And here how it looks on LMS, test and exam. And let's imagine that our user has already passed it. So his grade is 100%, and there is a message on the screen saying that your certificate is available. But let's imagine that we go to Studio and delete a graded subsection, exam. Here's how it will look on LMS. The exam grade is 0. And the certificate disappears from the progress page, even if the user has already passed it. And we can go even further, go to Studio and delete the assignment type, test. And in this case, the following result will be on LMS. Only one available assignment type exam, and its result is 0. This is very frustrating for users. And before Nutmeg release, or even Olive, the certificate disappeared from user profile, from course outline page, and from learner's dashboard even. But now it is fixed, and it disappears only from the progress page. But anyway, it is not good because the student already received the certificate, and he can see it in his profile, but don't see it on the progress page. So we propose to add an informative message in Studio for instructors. And again, we know that this is in the Open edX Read the Docs, but instructors do not read it, unfortunately. So this message should warn them that if you published your course and your users have started to pass it, do not touch grading settings, graded subsections, otherwise you will break the course logic and the certificate receiving. Case number 3. This one is as easy one to give you some rest. We know that from time to time, emails from the platform are received into the user's spam folders. For example, imagine that you are a learner who has just registered on the platform. And you will see the following message on the screen. The system sent you the activation link, account activation link, and this message says, check your email inbox for an account activation link from the platform. If you need help, contact support. And imagine that you are a learner who go to your inbox, do not find such an email. What you do, you contact support, of course. And if such learner goes away from the platform and then returns, tries to sign in again, the system sends him this link once again. And this time, this message says, if you do not receive an email, check your spam folders or contact support. This is great, but why don't we show this message from the very beginning, right after the registration? Case number 4. I wanted to talk about such issue as CIS Admin Dashboard deprecation and the download all users report. Before, in previous releases, some of our clients used this useful button to download a report with all users registered on the platform. But when we had upgraded the system to the new release, they were happy with new features and so on, but they lost this one. And they came to us and asked that question, from which place in the platform we could download this report now? Maybe even from, at least from admin panel. But unfortunately, no, there is no such feature in the platform. And yes, we know that it is possible to install the CIS Admin Dashboard in new release as a separate installable plugin. But why don't we just add this useful feature separately from the CIS Admin Dashboard, somewhere on the platform? Next, case number 5, course export import. Yeah, course export import, if the course is big, quite, I don't know, 2 gigabytes, for example, is hanging. Sometimes it takes 20 minutes to export. Sometimes it takes a few hours to import. Users hate the system at this time. Imagine that you're waiting for a few hours and you can't get your course anyway. So, if you import a big course, we see the following message on the screen. Your import has failed. That's all. If you export a big course, the error message sounds like failed network error. What does it mean? And moreover, it shows that it was successful, but when you try to click on the download exported course, it failed anyway. So why don't we optimize this very useful feature for our clients? Or if it's impossible to optimize, let's explain them the reason of failure. Because your import has failed message is not enough. SCORMs. There is always issues with SCORMs. Sometimes it relates to the SCORM files created in not a proper way. Sometimes it relates to the SCORM X blocks which have different versions. But I would like to discuss the most popular 2 issues that we receive in our support desk related to SCORM. It's case number 6, SCORMs and the unit location ID. Before the Nutmeg release, there was a very interesting issue. We have clients, imagine you are a client who has different languages on your platform. And you work with SCORMs. I don't know if everybody in this room knows what SCORMs mean, but it's lessons, interactive lessons created in the Articulate Storyline instrument. And we have a lot of clients who work with SCORMs. And before the Nutmeg release, there was a very interesting issue. Our support team could not understand the reason of this behavior of the system. So now I ask you to imagine this situation. You have different languages on your platform, and you need to create courses in different languages. For example, English and Spanish, 2 languages. What you usually do, you create the course, with put SCORM files into the units, your lessons, and you create the copy of the course using rerun or import-export if your course is not very big. In course copy, you need to change your SCORM files to another language. So you would like to have English course with English SCORM files, Spanish course with Spanish SCORM files. And when you try to change SCORM files in the course copy, some magic happens and the system mixed the content. You receive Spanish SCORMs in English course, English SCORMs in Spanish course, and nobody knows what's going on. Our support team and our clients, we both were getting crazy until we found the reason. When when you create the course copies, the unit location ID is the same in the original course and in the course copy. And when it goes to SCORMs, it just mixes the content duplicates the content, because for the system it's the same. the same units. But in Nutmeg, this behavior was changed. Now when you put something in the course copy, I mean SCORMs, it shows this error in the original course. Unfortunately, it does not solve the problem, but it is informative at least that something is going on, because earlier it just looked like two courses with the same SCORMs. In the world of unicorns and rainbows, we dream about such a solution when the new unit location ID is created when you create a course copy, so that our clients who work with SCORMs and multiple languages do not have to delete the units and create them from the beginning to give them the new location ID number. But until this solution is found, let's at least inform the users about this behavior. For example, we could put the message on the rerun page and import also page on both pages to explain this issue related to SCORMs and unit location IDs. Case number 7, SCORMs and the maximum attempts value. There is an issue with this setting. It's a setting in Studio in advanced settings. It's a course-wide. The default value is null, and if we change it to 1 or any other positive number, it will not work with problems containing SCORMs. The system will allow to pass such problems an unlimited number of times. So, if it's impossible to fix, just put one more sentence over here below, because there is some space below this field about this issue with SCORM. For example, like this. Please know this feature does not work for problems with SCORMs and other X blocks, for example, LTI, so that users do not expect the results they hope to get. What about course visibility? We know that it is possible to make courses invisible in 3 different places on the platform. It's the home page, available for the unauthorized users. It's the about page, and the courses page, also known as course catalog. And there is a course visibility in catalog field in advanced settings, and explanation below this field how to use it. If you specify both, your course will be visible in the course catalog and course about. If you specify none here, the course will be visible on the course catalog and course about. And if you specify about, you know what will happen. But nobody knows how to make it invisible on the home page here. And also, nobody knows that it's quite tricky to make it visible on this page on the course catalog. So, case number 8, course visibility in catalog. Imagine that you are an instructor who want your course to appear in the course catalog. You put both in this field, and you are expecting that this course will appear on the course catalog. But it is not. And you are getting crazy and come to us, the support team, and ask for help. But the trick here is that if the enrollment end date has passed, this course disappears. But Studio does not explain this. And we would propose to add such message below this field. It would be very helpful for our users. Also, course visibility on the home page, case number 9. It's the rule, it's very interesting. The rule for this invisibility of the courses sounds like this. If the course has the default date, the 1st of January 2030, it will be invisible on the home page. And if you are an instructor who wants to see how your course will look here among other courses, how the course card looks and course image and so on, you cannot do this, and you don't understand why. But actually, you need to change the date, and putting both here does not help. You should know that if you have default dates, it will be invisible. If you change it to any other non-default dates, it will be visible on the home page. And the second thing here, yes, you can put none, but your course can still be there on the home page, and you can't hide it and don't understand how to hide it. People see it, and you get in nervous. But actually, you just need to put the non-default date into your course start date and course enrollment start date. So why don't we put this message on the schedule and details page? We found a free space there. And finally, case number 10, extra. I called it extra because it does not relate to the user experience in LMS or Studio. It relates to admin panel. It's a user-friendly advice about admin panel. Yes, we know that admin panel is a holy place which should be available for super users only, and these super users must be the administrators with technical skills. But since I have such a chance to talk about it, I would like to describe two most popular issues we receive in our support desk related to the admin panel. And first, I understand what you can say, that people must register on LMS and everything will be good. Or in Studio, if you're an instructor and everything will go smoothly, don't go to admin panel. But we have such clients whose business case requires creating users manually from the admin panel. And in such organizations, they usually have one or two staff members who are granted with the super user rights, and they can go to admin panel. Before the upgrade to new release, they could do it from CIS Admin Dashboard, but it's deprecated, so they have to go to the admin panel. And these super users encounter with the following issue, the empty email. Why? Empty email of the user. Because there are two steps you need to do when you create a user in admin panel. First, specify username and password. And second, there is a very little tiny field, email address, and you need to fill it in, but the system do not requires this. If it's empty, you can just save the page and go out and forget about it and so on. But it's very dangerous because the user email address is the unique identifier of the user. The user cannot exist in the system without it. And for example, you did this action, created a user with empty email address and forgot about it. Or your colleague with super user rights came later to the admin panel and tries to create a new user record. An unpleasant surprise is waiting for them, this error. And they panic, come to us, as usual, ask for help. Why? Because first of all, this message says, please wait a few seconds and then reload the page. How can reloading the page help with the empty email address? You can refresh the page multiple times, but this error will still be there. And the solution here is to find such a record among the users and delete it or put the email address. This will solve the situation. But actually, the question is, why don't we warn the users or make the email address required field, which do not allow saving the page until you fill it in? Or if it's impossible to change something in the admin panel, put a short message below this field to force to fill it in. And this case is the last one related to the admin panel, the name field. Imagine that you are a mature super user who knows that it's very important to specify email address, so you created the user, put the email address. Is everything correct now? Yes, but no. Because there is also a very important field here, the name field. This field, the value of this field is used on the certificates, and actually you should not leave it empty, but the system allows to do it. You can save this page, leave it empty. What will happen if you do this? The system will put automatically the value from the username field into this field, and this username can be whatever you specified. It should not contain spaces. You cannot change it later. For example, if you specify test user 3, this will be displayed on the certificate, and it does not look good. So there is no problem with this field. It is called full name on LMS. because first of all, it is required, and second, there is very nice message below this field. This name will be used on any certificate that you earn. So why don't we put such message in the admin panel? Or make it required. But I know that it's hard to change something in the admin panel. It's like separate vault. And the last one. I would recommend to hide these fields, first name, last name, because they are not used in user creation. Why are they there? But I know if we have developers in this room, I know what you could say. Women, don't touch the Django admin panel. If you need help, ask someone with technical skills. Okay, I will not insist on this change. So, to finalize, there is always will be an endless stream of users' complaints. And we understand that in most cases, everything is working properly, and it can be just a matter of incorrect settings made or instructions ignored. But if we, as a community, aim to improve the system, we should always ask us questions wearing the user's shoes. So let's wear the user's shoes together. Thank you. Questions, please.
Can you send me your slides? I want to fix like half of those tonight.
Yes, sure. And
I've been creating courses recently on an instance, and I cannot figure out the user visibility settings, and it took me so long.
I put a shortener link into my speech. You can find it. You can find it there. But I know your email address. I can send it.
Oh yeah.
I can send it to you first.
Yeah.
Okay. What? Why? I'm not singing.
So you can answer the questions.
Okay.
Just repeat the question before you answer.
It's being recorded.
Okay.
What was the question?
I didn't ask.
Oh, yeah,
I asked for the not half. Well, I'm gonna the course catalog ones are that's very reasonable suggestions.
Yes, we receive a lot of issues with course catalog and homepage and so on. I'm not sure if the mentioning of the admin panel would be useful for this auditory, but we really feel pain of users who work with it.
This is downstream, but what is the support team's response when grades are deleted?
When what? Sorry.
When grades are deleted because the subsections are deleted, what is the support team's response?
What's the solution here? We spent a lot of time to, we spent a lot of time to recreate the user progress. And yes, people pay us for this, so for us it's okay, but we are getting nervous when it repeats and repeats. We have a big company who do it all the time because they have instructors in different countries, and we explained to one of them, they did not give this information to, for example, other country, and we receive complaints again and again. So I think this message should help because nobody reads the docs.
This resonates.
But maybe we will stay without work in support team, but we have a lot of work still, yeah.
Anybody else?
Oh my God, 1 minute is left. Maybe you will change your mind.
Thanks for the presentation, Ariana. Did the data come from Raccoon Gang, like your support tickets?
Yes.
And was it listed in any sort of particular order? Is it severity or just the number of cases?
Not yet, because this is the first time we prepared such, we made such investigation to prepare for this conference, but we would like to share it with everybody, and also Raccoon Gang team would like to contribute with fixing it or making these changes. in studio. So if you need me to share the materials, I can do it.
Yeah, it was just more
Do you
just
want
a
to
general question.
participate?
Yeah. No, I think it was more just just for curiosity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
Anybody else? No? Going once?
I just want to say I've worked with Jennifer Akana right here for many years, and I've felt the pain of support many times. So my hat's off to both of you. Great job being on the front line.
Thank you. So you are also from support? Great, I will be happy, yeah. Because I need to share my pain with someone.
You can use that one.
So my question is a possible alternative solution to this possibility of deleting things. I also work with large course teams who have instructor...
Sorry, I don't hear.
Oh, so I also work with large course teams on courses, and not all of whom have to have an instructor role to be able to interact with students and give them extensions and different things like that, but that I do not want to have admin access to be able to create or delete content. And I feel like it would be amazing if we could have an instructor role that did not have admin access to the content.
Thanks, yeah. So everybody understands our pain, I think. I'm so happy. It was not useless.
Questions? Are we done? I have one. Was it you on that slide looking at the notebook?
Of course, because it is not allowed to use pictures from the internet, so I decided to do it myself, except one, this with shoes. I paid for it.
So a round of applause to Jana.